again from the conference for HoloMind Talk, because this is our podcast. I have with me the wonderful Grace Blest-Hopley, and I thank you so much for today's speech. It was amazing, full of energy, but so important. And I would like to ask you about your impressions from the conference, but mainly about the impressions about the level of information about females' health, whether it has improved. How do you see that?
Well, I think the conference in general, obviously we're 2 years on from last year, from the last conference, and we've seen an awful lot of change. And I don't think it's huge sort of leaps and bounds forward in terms of us actually accessing this medicines. But I think we've started to now realize some more of the nuances around how we're going to deliver these medicines. And people are really being forced to come to the table and think about what do these things look like clinically. So I've been really, really glad to see a lot more engagement around that kind of aspect. But also, I think, people in the States particularly feeling very excited about the opportunities that they now have to access psychedelics in these decriminalized zones. And, as a Brit and someone from the UK where that isn't really available for us, I'm very interested to see, what that starts to look like. Now, in terms of women's biology, there was absolutely nothing last time, not a thing. And it was a real problem, I think. And I actually wrote an open letter to MAPS after that conference, calling them out for it. And obviously they listened because now we're here. And I believe this was the first presentation that has been given about women's biology specifically. And I think we are starting to now see that there is much more interest in this and much more understanding, not just from, people who are passionate about it like me, but from clinical teams who are starting to realize that they have got gaps in their data and validation issues with some of their protocols because of the lack of this. However, we'll kind of pause and say, this was the only presentation on it. It's such a wide and vast subject area. For 3 of us to cram in 30 minutes of presenting this was not enough. There are a lot of other talks that are going on, but I find a lot of them are focused more on things like parenthood and gender identity, which are very important. But in my mind, 51% of the population of women have this biology. It should be far, far further up the billing in terms of its importance.
Definitely. So thank you very much for opening the door, because that's very important. And I really hope that this is just the start of a great future for that, because it should be the new normal. It's just like that. We shouldn't be even fighting for this, because it's
completely, absolutely.
But since the history proved what it proved, let's do it, because this is what we have to do right now. But I really hope that you will be speaking more about this subject in Poland at the conference this November.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to. I think it needs to be spoken about a lot more. I think there's a huge power in empowering women to know more about biology, their own biology and how it's affecting them, but also to sort of start speaking up about it, to start advocating for themselves, for better treatments and better recognition from, clinical trial programs to be more tailored towards women, because at the end of the day, it's our safety that's on the line if we ignore it again. And furthermore, I just really like to say, I think it's wonderful what you guys are doing with the network, because we do need these networks. It's not just about us understanding women's biology in terms of our safety, but we also need to keep ourselves safe in the community.
Exactly.
And actually having a group of women where we know we can come together and we can discuss when we've seen unsafe practices, for instances, going on, and start to protect each other in that way, and not feel like we're being siloed and left on our own to have to try and defend ourselves. We can band together, move the field a lot further forward in terms of the science and the data, but also the community.
Exactly. So Psychedelic Women Network is waiting for you, as well as HoloMind, both, because we are we are in the cooperation. So what can I say? Thank you very much. We are looking forward to having you in Warsaw, and thank you so much for all the work you are doing. This is so important and so groundbreaking. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. It really is my pleasure to do the work.
Thank you.
Thank you.